Hello everyone. Now in previous video I given some introduction to exception handling. Now I'm going to discuss uh, what exception hierarchy. Okay. So in Java API we have different packages. Okay. Java API means collection of packages. Okay. So in Java API, okay, top level class is the what object class. Okay. Already we knew that. Okay, object is a top level class. Okay. Now here throwable. Okay. Throwable is a top level class in exception hierarchy. Okay. In exception hierarchy, top level class is a throwable class. Okay. Here two subclasses, direct subclasses of what throwable class. First one is error and second one is what exception. Okay. Error and exception. So here this error, okay, so this error class is used to handle asynchronous exceptions. Okay, so asynchronous exceptions, this asynchronous exception occurred whenever, okay, there are some hardware failures. For suppose there is no sufficient memory in your what system to execute your program, so every program is needed what memory to execute the program, right? So in this case, okay, memory failure, right? Then you will get what some what out of memory error. Okay, java.lang out of memory error. So here error is a what class. It is used to handle the asynchronous exceptions. These are occurred due to what hardware failures in your what system. Okay, second one is stack overflow error. So in your JVM, Java Virtual Machine also, so we have some limited stack memory. Okay, limited stack memory. So whenever its limit is exceed, okay, then you will get this stack overflow error. So I'll show you with an example this stack overflow error. Okay, see here I'm defining one static method here, public static, okay, void do something. Okay, do something. So this is the method I declared. So here I don't want to write much. Simply what I'm doing is here I'm calling, sorry, I'm displaying this, but to do something, and I'm calling this do something itself. Okay, do something itself, and I'm calling this do something in main. Yeah, now see what happened. Here you are calling this do something, right? Here you are calling recursively this do something in but do something method. Yeah, now here it is going to call infinitely, but here, okay, in Java virtual machine you have limited what a stack memory. Whenever this limited stack memory is exit, you will get stack overflow error. Okay, so this is one type of exception. See here. Yeah, see, whenever it is calling recursively. So whenever what this calling is happen, then what happened? One activation record is inserted into the what your stack memory. So here, okay, infinitely it is calling. There is no end, right? So we have not written any what logic to stop this recursive call. So now what happened? You will get this stack overflow error. See, after, yeah, see, java.lang.stack overflow error. So this is what asynchronous exception. Whenever your hardware is, but hardware means the memory, okay, is failed. Okay, so whether it is in JVM or in your system, right? So this is what asynchronous exception. Now come to the what exception. So here exception is a class. Okay, it is used to handle, okay, synchronous exceptions. Okay, synchronous exceptions. So these are not occurred due to hardware failure. Okay, these are not occurred due to hardware failures. These are occurred due to the what programmer intervention or end user intervention. Or suppose end user entered the values what okay, wrong input values, or okay, the programmer forget to handle the exception. Okay, programmer forget to handle the exception. In such cases, you will get synchronous exceptions. These synchronous exceptions are divided into two types. Okay, first one is unchecked and second one is checked. Okay, simple here the difference. Checked exceptions which are directly inherited from exception class. These are called checked exceptions. These are identified by the compiler at the time of compilation. Just identified, not raised. Okay, whether it is runtime unchecked exception or checked exception doesn't matter. But every exception raised at runtime only. But here these checked exceptions are identified, okay, by the compiler at the time of compilation. So you should handle this checked exception at the time of compilation, and your compiler is going to force to handle these checked exceptions. Okay, your compiler is going to force to handle these checked exceptions, but compiler won't force you to handle these runtime exceptions. The exceptions which are, okay, directly inherited from runtime exception class. Okay, runtime exception class, these are called unchecked exceptions, and compiler won't force, okay, you to handle these exceptions. Okay, so these are not identified by the compiler. Okay, these are not identified by the compiler. Okay, so compiler won't force you to handle this unchecked exceptions. So this is the exception hierarchy. Okay, for suppose already we discussed, okay, array index out of bounds exception in previous example. Sorry, previous video. So here int a, okay, int a is equal to new int of, okay, new int of 10. Now a, okay, of 12 is equal to 34. I have written. Now sysout, okay, sysout try to display a of 12. Now your compiler is not identifying array index out of bounds exception. See here, array index out of bounds exception, definitely you will get, okay, see, yeah, now see here, array index out of bounds exception, this is not identified by the compiler, right? Not identified by the compiler. Why? Because here, okay, this is unchecked exception. Okay, now if you try to open a file, see, now I want to open a file. So file input string. Okay, so file input string FIS is equal to new file input string of here. You need to provide the name of file. Okay, so here abc.txt. Okay, yeah. Now see here, this constructor is giving error. Why? See, add throws declaration surrounded with try catch. Why? Why? Because whenever you try to open a file, okay, see here you may get file not found exception. See, file not found exception is the direct subclass of the exception class. Okay, if you want, I will show you with command prompt. Okay, yeah. So here, so Java P. Okay, so 1 second. Try to press the font. Sorry. Okay, Java P, Java dot IO dot file input string. Okay, yeah. So file input stream here. Okay, file input stream, it is throws file not found exception. Okay, so file not found exception. Now what I will do is, okay, so I will try to open this profile. Okay, copy Java P, Java dot, okay, IO dot file not found exception. File not found exception. File F file. See here, file not found exception extends java.io exception. Now I will open IO exception. See, IO exception. IO. See, here IO exception is directly inherited from what? Exception class. Okay. So here, whatever the class you extended directly from whatever the exception directly extended from exception class. Okay, that is checked exception. You should handle, okay, at the time of compilation only, and your compiler also forcing you to handle that exception. Okay, handle that exception at the time of compilation only. Whether it is raised or not doesn't matter. Secondary thing. Okay, and see, for suppose arithmetic exception. See, Java P. Okay, Java P, Java dot lang dot. Okay, Java dot lang dot arithmetic exception. See, this is directly inherited from runtime exception. Okay, so whatever the class directly inherited from runtime exception, you no need to worry. Okay, even your compiler not forcing you to raise that, handle that exception at the time of compilation. Okay, at the time of compilation. So, okay, so these are the types of exceptions. Okay, so checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions. Okay, so in brief, okay, checked exceptions which are directly inherited from exception class, and unchecked exceptions which are directly inherited from runtime exception class. And checked exceptions are identified by the compiler, and your compiler is going to force, okay, handle these exceptions at the time of compilation, and your compiler will not force you to handle these unchecked exceptions. Okay, so this is the exception hierarchy. In next video I will discuss how to handle the exceptions in detail. Okay, thanks.